Got some dumpster dive, scavenging, salvaging action. Kind of an interesting deal. Some kind of press of some sorts. I'm not sure what I'm looking at there. Man, it's gonna be scrap metal. This is a big chunk of aluminum. That's almost every bit of that's aluminum, except for that part. That base and the stand and this. That's probably a super expensive piece of machinery when it was originally new. Kind of odd machinery, hot surface, avoid contact, avoid squeegee, high pressure. That's an aluminum plate on there. Oh, I don't know what this is. No, it's not aluminum, but it's just gonna be scrap metal for me. That's a nice piece of scrap there. Some tin metal down there. I'm just gonna leave that alone. But if I ran a bigger vehicle, I would take that, put that in my gas tank. There's a sink, brand new sink. That's worth some decent money if you want to mess around with that kind of stuff. You could sell that over time. You could probably sell that on Craigslist or something. But anyways, I wanted to make this little video about what would happen if you lost your job and you needed to pay your mortgage or your rent. I've been doing this since 2007. I did this right through the financial crisis of 2008, and you have my word that this scavenging deal is literally immune to any kind of financial crisis. People have to keep throwing stuff away. It would take years and years and years of financial catastrophe to begin to affect what I do here, what I show in my videos. I may come back and get that sink. This is directly across the street from where I live, so I'm just gonna go drop this off right now. Go hit this one dumpster down here first. But I know, like in 2008, tons of people lost their houses and stuff. I guess that's kind of what the financial crisis was caused by to begin with back then, but this is definitely something you could do as a safety net. Look at all these flowers. It's not glamorous. It may not be a whole lot of fun, but it gets the job done. You normally would probably want to look under that big cardboard box. I just know these dumpsters so well. For me, it's a waste of time because I already know there's nothing down there. 99% sure, anyway. I will check this out on the internet before I actually take it to the scrapyard. Market by heat press machine. Model FM 1151TH. You can see the rest. Frequency, voltage, warning, high voltage. That's a weird deal. As you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff out there. This is my stash hole. I just throw stuff in here. It's just nothing but storage at this point. Some people wonder, I think it's like a work area or something. It's just something where I throw stuff. There's no sense in wasting time organizing it. So I'm just gonna take it out of there and take it to the scrapyard. So that also is my unit. I have 2 of them. And let's see, if you've never watched my videos before, I'm trading in this little scooter for less load capacity for a high degree of mobility, which is number 1. And what I do specifically, that will change for other people. If you're looking for ways to make money, just use YouTube as your search engine. Second biggest search engine on the planet. Use YouTube, the search bar, like scrapping metal, scavenging, dumpster diving, reselling on eBay, that kind of stuff. People can't stop throwing stuff away. It would look funny if people started collecting all their garbage in their living room and didn't put it in the garbage can. Even if it's tin cans and aluminum cans, you can still save your house. You can still put food on the table. Anyways, I have a route in mind. I'm gonna run my Walmart route. And then if I strike out there, I'm gonna go down the highway just a touch to an industrial park. My industrial park route, it's got a couple big apartment buildings tied into it. So see how it goes. One thing I need to say, if you've never done this before, you're not gonna know where all the dumpsters are. Like me, I know exactly where to go right now, so it's just super efficient. It might take you some time to find exactly where they're all at. That metal I just dropped off was probably maybe $1, and those were the first 2 dumpsters I checked today. That's about the bottom rung type of stuff you'll find. I have a form of video I make that's called real time. This video is like you're seeing now, but I never turn the camera off. Well, not never, but it generally shows the real time it takes to find this stuff. If you're interested, that link's down in the description. It'll say real time videos, the whole playlist of them. If you want to see what this is really like, one thing I should say real quick is I told you to use YouTube as use the YouTube search bar. Oh, look at it. Look at it, look at it. This is a church. That's a whole box of food here. It's been dumped out. You gotta be careful with this stuff. There could be something wrong with it. So it's your own personal choice what you do with it. I'm a big advocate of not ever donating this to anyone. You don't want to donate this to a food bank or anything because there could be something wrong with it. But personal choice, it's all your own decision. You don't know if this came out of a meth house or not, you know. That could have sat in a kitchen where someone was making meth for the last 2 years, you know. I don't know why they threw it in the garbage, so you always have to be skeptical. Here's 1, 2, 3 cases of brand new peanut butter. I mean, it's up to the eye of the beholder. It's number 2116. Maybe that's why I threw it away. This is probably all expired. But And I just, yeah, 2016. That's why it's in the garbage. It's all expired. But expired food, of course, is edible, but I'm not going to ever promote anyone do that as being a real scavenger. I know without a doubt some food, when it expires, is just gross and sick. Even if it's not expired, the heat, temperature, storage alone, you never know why food's in the dumpster. I just don't even want to get on that subject. It's gonna sidetrack my video here talking about that. Super dangerous, those people out there donating food to homeless people and food banks. It's actually illegal. I mean, if you don't think it's illegal, call your local police station and ask them if it's okay to take food out of a garbage receptacle and put it in a food bank. Just go ahead and ask them, see what they say. So I'm gonna hit this little route here. It's gonna be apartments on the street, and then if I were going back home, there's a little industrial park and business center that I'll hit later, because I'm gonna actually head out this way if I don't find anything here. So it's not anything set in stone. As I go, it changes. I have no idea what this video is gonna metamorphose into today. This is the kind of stuff you would see if you had an area where people were allowed to put stuff out on the curb continually, and the garbage man will pick it up. It's like an old oven, like a slow roaster deal. This is a treadmill. I see lots of these treadmills. There will be a nice electric motor in there if you want to go after that. Some wires and stuff in there. What's up, man? How you doing?
All right.
Once upon a time, I would take this all apart and take all the valuable scrap metal out of it. There's some decent stuff in there. But now I'm just gonna leave it where it's at and take my little wire. This is the best scrap metal in my opinion. It's so plentiful. It's clean. It takes the shape of any kind of thing you want to put it in, and there's never anything wrong with leaving this for someone else. So I really don't have anything against some of those channels that are fakey, you know, because a lot of people are just watching for entertainment. It really doesn't matter. But in this situation like this, you need to know the difference between real and entertainment, you know what I mean? Too bad. It's actually made in Mexico. It's a nice little deal. I'm gonna say, actually, someone might want to try to put a plant in that. I would keep it if it wasn't chipped there. There's another one down there too. Oh, there's a copper lid down there. Brass handle, and I think that's actually copper, even though it's silver on this side. But nice little piece of scrap. That's a nice little one. So like you see how it's gross and wet in that dumpster. Some people don't understand how I can wear fingerless gloves doing this, but actually that's the best way you could possibly stay clean. That sounds weird, but my hands got a little of that nasty water on them there, but I just wiped it off. And the problem with wearing full finger gloves is what happens when you come to a situation like that. You know, you're not gonna stick the tips of your gloves down and get them wet. It's absolutely disgusting and gross. So when you wear full finger gloves, you end up, what do you end up doing? You end up taking them off and working. If you look at my hands, it looks like I work in an office, let alone do the job I do. And why is that? That's because I always am wearing gloves. Always. I never take them off. Full finger gloves, doing specifically what I do, it's absolutely disgusting. And then you end up taking them off and putting them on your dashboard or in between the seats on your car, or they end up rubbing on you. And you know, it's just I can wash my hands, wipe off my hands, but I don't. That's one of the things I learned over the first year. It's not really important to this video, but I thought that was kind of a good point there. Look at those fingers. That was the end of my little Walmart section. I'm gonna head down to this industrial park now. This is a thrift store. This place doesn't really throw away a whole lot, but thrift stores are definitely a place you could go check out. There should be a Goodwill thrift store around you somewhere. They throw tons of usable stuff away. Thrift stores are good. Apartment buildings, I can all but guarantee you'll find stuff if you check big apartment buildings. Down in the description I'll have a link of some scrapyard trips, scrapping metal, and I'll have this all organized out in buckets and stuff at the scrapyard, talking about it. If you don't know about that kind of stuff, check it out down there. I have a whole playlist showing that kind of stuff in detail. This is what they call scrappers fool's gold, fool's copper. Although battery just died in my camera, so I had to replace my battery. This optical fiber stuff is fool's copper. If this were all copper wire, it would be really valuable. See how it says optical cable right there? There used to be wires in here, and that's gone. So someone's taken, I guess, the, I don't know, there's a piece down there. That's the good stuff. That's what you want to see right there. Hey, you know what? Shoot, that's not an insulator wire. That's just a big chunk of copper. So there was some really good stuff in that gray tubing. That is glued in there. That's probably why they didn't take it. They just cut it off. But that's good stuff. That's almost a pound of copper right there. That little tiny piece is worth about $1.80. If I get it out of that gray hose. I found that off camera, wasn't too exciting. this whole dumpster is full of toilets, new toilets. They got water in them. I'm pretty sure it's just rainwater with dust and dirt, making them look like they're old. But these are the ones they just throw away. I'm not sure why. That one's not even been opened, I don't think. They're probably broken. I sure don't see any damage to them. So there's a wide variety of stuff that you can sell. There's actually wire in there for some reason. The interesting thing about dumpster diving is, of course, you never know what you might find. I mean, could you sell that toilet if it's all in one piece? Absolutely. You know, they may have just thrown this one away, see, because it's got scuffs on it. And if this was going into like a brand new house that's just been built, they can't put that in there. You know, here's your new toilet that we scuffed up. But you can sell that, absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with that one. And that might be the case with some of these other ones too. You know, I don't see anything wrong with that. And those guys are pretty valuable. But I'm just kind of giving some examples. Me personally, I make money off making videos and scrap metal and selling stuff. So there's just a point I have to draw in the line where I have to stop taking stuff, because there's not enough time in the day for a one-man show to, there's one that's cracked. Not enough time in the day for a one-man show to make videos and sell absolutely everything I find. And you know, those toilets, like, it might take months to sell, you know. There's just a limit to what one person can do. But I will check out the name on this, ProFlow PF1501, and while I'm editing the video I will Google that and see, you know, these ProFlows, if they're super valuable, I can just come back and get them, you know. But like I say, I have just learned that messing with everything you find can actually cost you time and stop you from actually making more money. There's a refrigerator. This compressor is a lot of the weight of this refrigerator. There's some nice copper lines in there. It's actually got some gas in there you're not really supposed to release. But if you were on the verge of starving or losing your house to the bank, you could cut this copper out of there. But if you don't need to, I'm not going to, you know. I'm not telling. That sounded kind of bad, but if there's something worse about to happen to you, then I don't think anyone's really going to get on you for doing what you got to do to save your house, you know. Refrigerators, air conditioners, and those old glass tube televisions, they're all basically hazardous waste. And it really doesn't give people a way, nice piece of steel in there, it really doesn't give people a way to take care of it. The real problem is that they were ever manufactured like that to begin with, and they don't give away for people to dispose of them, you know? Shouldn't it kind of be their responsibility to provide a way for people to drain air conditioners and refrigerators and a place to throw away your gold glass tube TVs? Isn't that their responsibility? They kind of leave the customer out to dry, you know? That makes my point pretty good. See what I mean? If I was wearing full finger gloves there, that would have just went into that fabric along with scuzz water from dumpsters, and then I'd be touching all this. It'd be all scuzzy. See? That's what a lot of people don't realize. See these office chairs mats? This one's cracked, so it's no good. But that's a huge one. That's probably worth like $200. I mean, of course, it's not worth anything like that, but those are expensive dudes, I'll tell you what. There we go. Now we're cooking. Hey, look at this. Hey, those are nice. I think those are aluminum. I should have brought my magnet. What are we doing with it here? Not bad. There's gonna be some nice copper wire inside of there. Some nice wire in there. I can just feel the weight of it. So, like I was saying, if anyone out there ends up losing their job, this is something you can definitely do, and it's definitely a safety net to get you by without a doubt. I wouldn't say it is. I wouldn't say it is if I didn't know for a fact, without a doubt. Cheap. Whoever spent $200 or $300 on that is probably not too happy. Stay. These turned out, they are aluminum, so that's nice. It's still got a light bulb in it. It's a nice chunk of aluminum for sure. So if you're new to this, your scrapyard will most likely give you a better price for electrical wires if you cut that plug off. Piece of brass off the hose, not bad. Second battery's out. I don't know why I'm going through batteries. It may be the winter has damaged my batteries, or it was really warm yesterday and it's really cold today. I don't know. Batteries seem to really go out fast when it's cold. Most scrapyards won't take the rubber on the wheel like that, so you have to cut that off there to get the metal. I rammed my head. Luckily I'm wearing a thick stocking cap. I rammed my head right into that. Right as my battery was dying, so always be careful out here. Dumpster diving could be dangerous, but there's nothing that's dangerous. Most dangerous thing you see me ever do in my videos is riding this thing on public streets where there's cars, vehicles. That's the most dangerous thing. Be careful out there. A lot of what I do is kind of just eye of the beholder. Like some people might like to have that clock down there, you know, but I see a couple hundred of those a year probably, so it's nothing real exciting. Some cans in there if you wanted to take those. The deal with aluminum cans is if you don't live in an area where there's a deposit, then they just go by the pound. So every time I talk about this, someone in the comments says, you know, it's 31 cans or 33 cans to a pound. The thing about that, those cans are different sizes. So I just say a couple dozen cans at the scrapyard scale will weigh a pound. The thing about scrapyard scales is they go to the nearest pound. They round off. So like if it's 0.8 of a pound, it'll go to a pound. So the problem with cans in that situation is 24 cans will weigh 1 pound at the scrapyard scale. 40 cans will weigh 1 pound at the scrapyard scale. See what I'm saying? People always wonder why I skipped cans. It's just a total waste of time, unless you're starving or gonna get evicted tomorrow. Actually, even then, focusing on cans, even at 5 cents, 10 cents each, it's still a waste of time, and you don't understand that until you just start skipping them completely. You know, forget about them, unless it's a big bag of them, and just go spend your time covering as much ground as possible. Because generally when people think about making money from scrap metal, they're going to think about big truckloads of washers and dryers and refrigerators or aluminum cans. If you're trying to make money in a hurry, my advice would just be, just totally forget about cans. I mean, there's nothing wrong if there was one like laying right there. There is one laying right there. There's nothing wrong with just grabbing it real quick, but don't waste your time looking for them. If they just come in the natural flow of things, that's fine, but if you find yourself focused on cans, you're really limiting yourself. Wow, this is a new record. Wow, look at this water. Sheesh. It's nice to see that faucet on that sink in there. Big chunky brass faucet on that sink. So that's the kind of stuff you want to find. If you waste an hour of your time messing around trying to find single aluminum cans, you're gonna skip out. You're gonna miss out on that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff you want to get right there. Oh wow, look at that. I can't believe I didn't get my feet wet. This whole dumpster is full of water. The level of water in this dumpster is exactly the same as the level of water out there. There's a hole in this dumpster somewhere. Sheesh. Hey, this is I think it's a cast iron sink too. The good thing about cast iron sinks is they will break fairly easily. If there wasn't a bunch of water down there, I could just drop this off the side of this dumpster, and if it hit the concrete, it's liable to crack. These things crack pretty easily, and they're super heavy, so. I don't have a lot of daylight left, so I want to show you as much as possible in this video. So there's going to be nice copper on there, nice pieces of brass, a valuable sink. I'm just going to come back for that after I run through these apartments down here. It's gonna be more of a information video, so boy, that's a new record there. Sheesh. That's probably actually about 4 feet, 3 feet. Anyways, I think it's a 7-foot dumpster. Well, I got shut down those apartment buildings. That's a bit of an oddity. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up the video here. That sink and that brass is the single best score in this video. You may have watched this video and think, well, that wasn't very much stuff, you know, that's not a whole lot of money. But the thing about my videos is, if someone compares them to other channels, I've only been out here for an hour and 45 minutes, hour and 50 minutes or so. And I mean, it's $8.30 there probably or so. And maybe another $6 or $7 here. Maybe $16 in scrap metal, $15 in scrap metal. It's hard to tell exactly. Some nice wire in there, but that's about as bottom rung as you can get. just finding this average scrap metal. I'm gonna turn the camera off and get that thing out of there. I hope you enjoyed this session. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully anyone new out there looking for ways to make some extra money, learn something. Check out those links I have down in the description. There's lots of information. Like I said earlier in the video, use YouTube search bar as your wealth of information, your own personal library. But be careful of YouTube videos. Some are not genuine whatsoever, but most are. Just be careful. There's really bad information, I guess is the point I'm getting to. You know, you might watch a video about how you can make tons of money getting gold out of electronics, and that's simply not true for the average Joe. Just doesn't know nothing about it right now. It's literally impossible. You have to do that on a large scale and be prepared. But anyways, I don't want to get into that. As always, thanks for watching. See all the waves in the water? Got the big chunk of brass off of it and stuff. Copper. That's so heavy I couldn't handle it. I tried to push it over here, but it went for a splash. It's down there.